About a year ago, we were very lucky to acquire these 3 manuscripts at an auction, and the English connection was that they had already been in England for over 100 years. They were bought and collected by Sir Moses Montefiore, who was an English Jewish philanthropist who died in 1885. And for me personally also, it was a very special moment because I started my library career at UCL working with Montefiore's collection. So I was very happy to find these manuscripts at Sotheby's in New York, and in a way to bring them back to England. And we acquired the texts that already relate to the material in our collections. So the first manuscript is a 17th century manuscript from Prague. It's written by it's the author of the text is Moses Graf, or Moses of Prague, and the text is Va-Yakhel Mosheh. It's Kabbalistic work, and when the author of the text, Moses of Prague, left Prague when it was a fire there, he went to Nikolsburg, and he was supported there by David Oppenheimer. So and of course our Hebrew collection at the Bodleian relates to David Oppenheimer's private library. So it has the Oppenheimer connection and the Prague connection, and the manuscript is 17th century Kabbalistic text written in Ashkenazi semi-cursive script. And here's another text that's a 13th century text, but again it's also Kabbalistic and written in the 17th century in Italy. And here you can see the stamp of the Moses Montefiore Library that was founded in Ramsgate in Kent. The other 2 texts are polemical, and one of them we acquired, and the other one we already had. So I brought also our own copy out to compare. And it's a 14th century Spanish text in order to it's a kind of Jewish apologetics to support Jews so that they don't convert into Christianity, and there are only 3 surviving copies of this text in manuscript, and now we have 2 of these, and one is in Berlin, and they all survived the 14th century text. They all survived only in 17th century Italian handwritten copies. And if you compare the 2, the one that we had before in our Michael collection, and the one we acquired from the Montefiore Library, you see that our Michael copy is very clean and is very nice. It's as if it's not been really used, and the other text has lots of corrections and annotations, and also the paper is worn, so as if to suggest that it was really used and read.
So this we didn't spend any money on. It's Henry's donation. It's an absolutely wonderful Italian work. I shudder to think what would have happened if Henry didn't visit his friends in France that week, because this was going to landfill. They were leaving the house. It would have been lost. It's a book of prayers, an Italian book of prayers. It's not a prayer book. It's a quite a strange production, in the sense that it was clearly made for somebody who was very religious, very devout, and what I think we get from it is how deeply the Kabbalah had penetrated into everyday Jewish life, i.e. the prayers. For every day you have Kabbalistic illuminations, and you also have something very unique here. In the middle of a paper Italian 17th century manuscript, you have a lovely parchment page of Talmud. And when I was looking at it, I thought, what is this doing here? It's the bit in Talmud that describes the perfumes of the temple, the incense and the stuff you used in worship there. And it turns out that at some point in the 14th, 15th century, the Kabbalists said that if you said this prayer, if you read this Talmud bit every day with your prayers, you would have good health, long life, and fortune. So clearly somebody paid attention to this and entered this as part of their daily prayers. So it's just a wonderful thing. It was written, we have the scribes, 2 colophons actually. It was written in Modena in 1748. So it's not, as I said, not a luxurious production, but it's just an everyday book of prayers for somebody who clearly used it. And it's, I think, a lovely addition to our collections. Thank you. Are we okay, Tanya?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Just 7 minutes.
The quickest ever.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Right, okay. Thank you, Rahel.